The regionals are always my first goal when fishing as a co-angler. 6 keepers in 5 tournaments. Sounds easy, right? So this is my 3rd year fishing the BFL as a co-angler. I'm fishing the mountain division this year. My buddy Tim called me up, said he needed a co-angler link, and for good reason. The regional for the mountain division is actually going to be on Chickamauga. My buddy Tim's a pretty good stick on that lake. When we got to Dale Hall is normally a clear lake, but there's been a lot of rain in this area, and so the lake is up, it's rising, and it's muddy. Dale Hall is known for smallmouth, but there's a odd slot limit. You can only keep 2 smallmouth, one below 16 inches and one above 21 inches. So targeting smallmouth isn't going to help you or put you in a position to win this tournament. So unfortunately on day 1 when we first got to the lake, it was raining. I didn't want to get my camera gear out and start setting it up while it was raining. Tim caught 2 early, working down a bluff wall. They were smaller. We went out to our first spot, offshore spot. I caught one on an Alabama rig, and Tim caught one on a chatterbait out over some deep grass in about 20 foot. So after our first offshore bite, we went ahead and stopped by a creek just off the main lake and fished it. Ooh. Got one. Oh boy, I just got 3. Oh God. No, I believe that's a really pale ass smallmouth.
Red trap?
Yeah. Stop and go.
Neck on here.
Alright, so practice day 1's in the book, guys, and you know, this time of year, you know, early spring, a lot of things can change in a week. The lake level was up, it was really muddy. Dale Hall is normally a clearer body of water. The water temperature was around 54 degrees, so that's a big positive, you know. The fish were up, they seemed to be biting. But with the muddy conditions and the overcast, you know, they were up and suspended a lot. Now we caught, I think it was 2 largemouth, or we caught 7 total. I think 3 of those were smallmouth. But anyway, so Dale Hollow's got a really weird size limit. You can only keep one under 14 inches and one above 21 inches. So, you know, you can't really target those smallmouth for a tournament. You really got to look to where those largemouth are and what they're biting. So we're actually a week ahead of the tournament. We're going to practice Saturday, which is today, and Sunday tomorrow, and then we're going to drive home. We'll work most of the week, and then we'll practice Thursday and Friday of next week, and the tournament's on Saturday. So what we're really trying to do is actually just determine some areas where the fish are going to be. We know that they're probably not going to be on those same exact spots when we get back next week, because the weather conditions are going to, you know, vary so much, and they can change so much this time of year. But what we're hoping is it'll at least clue us in, and we can relocate those fish, hopefully those good fish, in the areas nearby, or, you know, structure nearby. But we're back in the hotel now. You know, we loaded the boat. You know, as far as baits go, it was pretty random. Couple of A-rig bites here, Swimbait bite there, you know, chatterbait bite over here. You know, it was just a mishmash. You know, lipless, you know, a lipless there, and you'll see all this stuff. But you know, it was just really random. We're just trying to find something consistent. And right now that can be tough, but all right, anyway, I'm going to go take a shower, and I've got to download some files, and we'll get back after them tomorrow. See you guys.
Yeah, there's some current down through here now.
So on day 2 practice, we decided to focus a lot of our attention up the 2 rivers that feed Dale Hollow. The first river was super muddy with some heavy current coming down. We flipped it, we threw crankbaits, but we never did have any luck. So we headed back down to the main lake section to see if we could find maybe a little more solid pattern. So what we started doing is checking shallow to deep. We know that the fish are in pre-spawn mode, so we know they're going to be migrating from the main lake where they winter to the mouths and even backs of the creeks. So that's where we started checking. We started spot checking some creeks, and we spot checked some main lake structure to see where the fish were in transition.
Oh, now there's one.
Crap, there's a boat coming around the corner.
That's a small one. Nice little smallmouth. So forgive me guys, this is one of the first times I've had my new cameras out on the water. I'm still learning with the new microphone. I got to work some kinks and some bugs out, mainly user error, but I've just got to learn to pay attention to other things. So I lost a little bit of audio here, so we'll just kind of do a little play-by-play of what's going on. So in this first clip, you can see we're still fishing some creeks off the main lake, and you can see Tim catches another one on the shallow running crankbait. A little bit later, in another pocket down, he picks up an Alabama rig and catches one on the Alabama rig. But you can tell these are all kind of small fish. Some of the smallmouth would be under that 16-inch limit, so it'd be a keeper. but that would be one of the two, and then the only other smallmouth you're going to have to be able to keep, of course, is going to be the above 21 inch. It seems like the bigger bites are coming out around the deeper structure, main lake structure, but they seem to be harder to get. So to end the day, we run back out to one of our spots just to check it. Tim starts getting bites on an A rig, and I pick up a swim bait. Now guys, this is something I want to share with you because I'm fishing this Major League boom shad on a ledge head, half-ounce head, over grass that is 20 feet deep, and I'm just ticking the grass with it. And this is something that I want to tell you. You know, I had about a foot water clarity right here where I'm fishing at. There's no blades, there's no underspin, there's not even a rattle stuck in this bait. So what I wanted to show you is that swim baits aren't just a clear or clearer water technique. The good thing about the boom shad is that they are really changing the game as to where and how you can throw these swim baits. So it doesn't just have to be clear water, and this is a prime example. I catch a nice smallmouth in 20-foot deep grass, and this is the Sexy Chartreuse swim bait that he offers. Now guys, I will say this, you know, his company, these baits are selling like hotcakes, so cut him a little slack, give him a little bit of time to get these out. These are hand painted custom swim baits, just like a hand painted crankbait. All good things come to those who wait, and these baits aren't mass produced, they are hand painted, every single one. So just remember that, and when you get them, go out and catch some big ones on them.
So coming into practice day 3, we really hoped we were going to be able to build on what we found in days 1 and 2. Now that had been a few days earlier. Unfortunately, the lake had gotten more rain, it had raised more, and had muddied up even more. On top of that, a cold front was moving in on practice day 3. What we decided to do, since the better bites were coming out of the deep humps around grass, is to kind of focus on that. We spent a lot of time just moving around, locating bass and locating grass. Unfortunately, again, that bite seemed to be very inconsistent, and we couldn't consistently get these fish to bite. We did, as the day goes on, start to check some shallow stuff, mouths of creeks, but we got even fewer bites than we did just a few days ago during practice days 1 and 2. So the only fish we caught was actually out deep. It was on a ledgehead Tennessee River bling, which is his version of an underspin, and I caught it on a 3.3 inch boom shad in Sexy Lavender. Again, swim baits in 20 foot of water, dirty water, guys. You gotta check out the boom shad, and you gotta check out the Tennessee River bling by Ledgehead. The underspin, that is a deadly combo for smallmouth.
You got one more chance. I told you I'd get that. Oh yeah. I said you can't network them.
Catch them on one bait.
Whatever. I'm throwing a big swim bait. It's probably a smallmouth.
Damn it. Suck it.
Oh, that's a phone.
Huh?
That's a phone. What are you throwing? Yeah, got a little kick to it. That's good.
I had to show him how to catch one on the Swimbait.
So going into day 4, the final day of practice, I was really nervous. Just could not seem to get bit consistently. And that's not a good thing for a co-angler. It's not a good thing for a boater, but a boater has a lot better chance of grinding something out with what we found and putting together a limit than a co-angler does. So going into the final day, my hopes were that we were going to find something that we were getting bit on consistently. And at the very end of the day, we did. It was on the steep portions of transitional banks, about a third of the way in to the major creeks. Actually right across there. About that far out. Dude. There, gentlemen. BFL 1, Mountain Division. I've got an awesome boater, Tony here. He's wearing his beautiful Ranger. We're about to get this thing kicked off and underway. All right, guys, we're getting ready to start the blast off here, and hopefully we're gonna catch some. Say hey to Mr. Ledgehead over there. Hopefully we're gonna get on them today.
47. I heard some yelling. There you go, 47. Go get him.
So I was really excited after finding the flipping bite, especially on my rage bugs. 3, 2, 1. So I was really excited after finding that flipping bite. I felt like that was something that I could do all over the lake. I also felt like it, as a co-angler, it was more likely that I was going to get with a guy that's going to be flipping than fishing out deep with the way the water was. So I was really excited going into tournament day. And sure enough, I draw a guy that was going to go flipping and throwing a spinnerbait. And I'm going to save you all the gory details of the tournament itself, and I'll just let you know I managed to 0. The guy that I was with, great guy, but I think he was a little ahead of the fish in their movement. He was way back in the backs of the creeks in the flooded timber. We got one bite on a spinnerbait all day. That's the one fish he caught. I flipped and flipped and flipped. I did manage to break one fish off, and that was my day. As a co-angler, you've got to capitalize on your opportunities, and unfortunately, I didn't capitalize on that one. So we're on to the next tournament. We'll see what happens. Hey guys, follow along with me. As always, questions and comments in the comment section below. You know I love to talk to you about fishing, and especially tournament fishing. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and you guys rock.